All right, we are back with another episode of It's That Easy, and this time we're talking college basketball. I am joined with TikTok great picker here, TurkeyCrib. How are you today?
Hey Rob, I'm doing great, buddy. Thanks for having me on again. How are you?
Of course, doing good. Well, you and I've been we've been chatting throughout the week about all these games. There's been some good picks going on, so it's been a good week, and I'm really looking forward to Saturday. So yeah, glad to have you
Oh,
on.
yeah, it's going to be a massive weekend. It got me thinking. I was driving around today, and I was thinking, gosh, I wonder a big weekend like this. What's Rob up to? What's the home setup, or what's the big setup for you for a big weekend like this?
Yeah,
What are you looking to get into?
when they have these games, I'll watch. I got my iPad going on. I got my GameCast going on. And I have a Fire Stick that I have also watching the games, and I'll have about three things going on. I try and run around, get all my chores done early before first tip off. I get the car oil change, all that stuff, and then I get home, sit back, and man, I just enjoy those games. I'm not gonna lie, I do partake in a few betting here and there. I love some in-game betting, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. But I'll tell you, at the end of the night, I'm kind of worn. I'm kind of like I'm drained. So what about you? How's it looking for you when you do that?
Well, we're running around. I'm hoping to catch 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there. We got the kids, and it's a family first type of thing. But I
Yes,
think
yes.
I'll squeeze in some basketball tomorrow. Maybe even if it's just on my phone, getting the kids to bed, I'll be able to catch a
There
little
you
bit.
go. There you go. Yeah, yeah. Well, we got a lot of games. I teed up. Usually it's 5 games. I have found 10 of them, and I said, you know what? Let's give it a shot. Let's see what we can do with 10. I know it's a lot, but we'll try and hit these really fast, get through them all, get all those picks out there for everybody to start making them. And one of my friends, I was talking to him. He says, hurry up and do that show. Send them out because I need to get my stuff ready for tomorrow. I said, okay, we'll get that done for you. So yeah, let's get kicked off. Oh, first, if you're watching, please like and subscribe. That helps us out a whole lot. And the ones that have liked and subscribed, truly appreciate that. So just keep doing that and keep watching our show. Hopefully, we'll be big someday. You can say, I remember when those guys were just starting off. So yeah. Okay, let's see. Iowa State travels to BYU. Man, Iowa State, if there's anybody that's on a roll right now, in my opinion, it's Iowa State. Beat Kansas, beat Houston. I mean, pretty much it was close, and then they passed Houston. They were losing actually the entire game, and they came and beat them. And BYU, yeah, I don't know. I think they're pretty decent. Yeah, they have good games. They have bad games. I think you really can't. Maybe you can't count them to win. You can count them to keep things close, maybe. So what do you got on these? I know you have something on this game. So
Yeah, exactly what you said. Iowa State really trending up. BYU trending down.
yeah, yeah,
Iowa State has a big advantage on defense. But when I got into it, the big thing I like is BYU is very slow to get started, and then they rely on a big second half. So for me, I'm gonna look to see what that spread is tomorrow. I'm gonna go Iowa State first half, lay in the points, and
gotcha.
full game. Full game, I'd lean under, but we'll see what we can do with that first half. I like that a
Okay.
lot.
Yeah, you said that. I did that the other night with Tennessee and Oklahoma. It was 11 and a half points, but the first half was 6.5. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take that. They won. I was so tempted to say, you know what? I'm going to go the rest of the game. I said, no, take your winnings and run. Don't do it. I've done that before where I double bet and it doesn't end well for me. So I'm with you. I got Iowa State to cover here. Well, I saw 3.5 points, so I'm going to say they cover. It's probably close. Maybe, going back and forth, and they probably pull away at the end or so. Or they win by 25. Who knows? Here's one of my favorites. For some reason, over the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've really loved to watch Tennessee play, and I've loved to, just to see how they've done. And I've won on them all 4 weeks, even when they lost. They lost to Kentucky. It was 4 games ago. They lost by 3 points, but the spread was like Kentucky 6.5. And I took Tennessee in the points and got that one as well. Vanderbilt, though, they're similar to, I don't know. I look at them. I'm like, they're kind of like BYU-ish. Because they lost last week. They won a couple. They lost before that. They're just kind of going back and forth. So what are your thoughts on Tennessee going to in Vandy 3.5 point favorite?
the thing that jumped off the page to me, of course, we got two high power offenses here.
Yes.
And then is that total a trap? Like what's going on here? And that seems awful low.
It does.
As you said, Tennessee's been crushing. They're on fire lately, offensively, just getting it done. For that, I'm going Tennessee plus the 3.5, and I'm gonna go opposite of the trap and take the under 148.5.
Yeah, I think actually now it's 150. I think the opening was 148. It's at 150 right now.
All right, well, I'm gonna let it go up until tip, and
yes,
then
right.
we'll
Let it go up.
Sneak in under. Yep.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I like Tennessee in the points. I actually think Tennessee could pull off a victory here. So, yeah. So we'll see what that does. Yeah. So now Arizona travels to U of H. This is going to be a good game. Obviously, like number 4 Arizona against number 2 U of H. U of H right now 5.5-point favorites. And let me make sure that it says 4.5 now. 142 is the over/under. So the over/under went up as well. So I guess everybody's giving them points. Maybe all the money's coming in. They're giving them points. But yeah, so U of H had a tough loss to Iowa State the other night. But before that, they were on a roll. Arizona was kind of struggling till they had BYU come to their house and they beat up on BYU. So yeah, how are you looking at Arizona traveling to U of H?
Kind of a clean game, both sides.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing a lot of turnovers, not a lot of mistakes. Of course, they're elite teams nationally. So one thing I found, when you look at, you want Houston to be a good defensive team. That's their stick.
Yes.
When you look at efficiency, Arizona is similar. Of course, they're elite anyway, but they're defensively, they're similar to Houston. They're not probably as good, but similar. And I just think 5.5 is out of line. So Arizona all the way. Give me 5.5, 4.5. We might think a little bit more on, but
yeah.
If it's 5.5, go ahead and pop on it.
And I think the over under is up to 142. I think it was. So good. Yeah, you know what? I thought only because U of H is at home. I said I'm just going money line. I think it's going to be closer than at the end there, and I think maybe U of H figures out. Remember we talked? It was about a week ago, and I told you they just seem to find a way. They're tough. They have like these ice in their veins. It seems like I thought they would actually come back. They had a chance against Iowa State at the end, so I'm thinking at home maybe they pull that off. So let's see what happens. This one was just I picked this one because these guys had similar records. Missouri, Arkansas, they're both 19-7, 18-8, pretty good. Arkansas is number 20, and they actually could have won the other night against Alabama. That was a tough game for them there. But Arkansas is a 10.5-point favorite. That's a lot of points right there, even though they are at home. I think Missouri's a little better than that. But, yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that one?
That's a similar breakdown to what I had. I thought, we're going to get a lot of points in this. We got strong offenses. Our defenses are not the bright spot of the teams.
Right.
Arkansas has been getting better on defense over the last 3, even with that wild game that they played earlier this week. But I think 10.5 is too many overall. So I would probably roll with Missouri.
Yeah, I think I put Arkansas, but I'm with you. I feel like it's going to be a lot. Yeah, I did put Arkansas, but I meant to put Missouri because I agree with you. I think it's similar to Alabama game. Arkansas was way ahead. Alabama came back. It was a close game. They ended up losing by 2, and I think that's what this one will be similar to as well. So I will change that before I post anything about that. So, but this is a really good game. I mean, when do you see like this late in the season, unless they're in the same conference, number 1 Michigan, number 3 Duke, traveling to Duke, and right now Michigan is a favorite, 2.5 points, 149.5 over under. Man, that's I think it's gonna be a good game, and I'll give you my thoughts after. But I know I want to hear what you have to say about this one.
Welcome to the big show. Here we go. Michigan is better at everything. comparatively to Duke. You go, well, Duke is really good at this.
Yes.
Michigan's better.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
But what I like seeing out of this is Duke is defensively improving over their last three, continually getting better. Both sides offenses are rolling, but remember this is at Washington D.C. This is a neutral.
Oh,
and so
okay, got you. That's okay. Makes sense.
Okay, so at a neutral, we got a defense that's getting better, and I'm taking Duke 2.5 and an under 148.5. I think we're going to be a little stale, a little tight. We got this big matchup. We're going to really kind of chess piece it out, and that's my big reason for the under.
Okay. And mine is similar to that, except I went Michigan, but I think Michigan is better at Duke. I feel like, I don't know if it's experience or, because I don't know if their players are just better, but I feel like they have an older team maybe, and Duke has a younger team. And so even though Duke is good, I feel like Michigan will, especially in a neutral site, I think they're going to take care of business here and maybe cover. But you know what? And you said that earlier too. Arizona, I feel like beat U of H in all the big categories, but only because it's a home game. And I've seen a lot of home teams upset my pickings, So I said, well, I should probably go Houston on this one. So, but we got 5 more games, so let's get into those here. Let's see. Here we go. Illinois and UCLA. So Illinois just beat the brakes off of USC. So I figured they're like, yeah, let's stay in California. Let's start beating up other teams. Now they're going to UCLA this weekend. So let's see. Yeah, Illinois, they won by almost 40 points. They beat USC. That was embarrassing for them. And it was at USC as well. Gilbert Arenas' son plays for them, and I saw him in the stands. He was more like, oh, this is terrible for my son. UCLA has lost 2 in a row. So, I don't know. I don't see why it changes here. You see anything different on that one?
No. Looking at it, there's no bright spots for UCLA offensively. There's nothing. Not a bright spot. And like you said, Illinois has been an absolute wagon. Their 3-point shooting is just, so good. UCLA, not disciplined. They're fouling. Their defense the last 3 has been bad. I think you just, push it all in on Illinois.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. What about that over-under? That's kind of low. You think, let's see, their last game with USC, even though they beat them by almost 40, it was 165 total, or 166 total. So that could be a low, right? That could be a pretty good over on that one. What do you think? Any thoughts on that one? Oh, sorry, it's 145. My bad, I did it wrong. It was 145.
145.
Yeah.
That's probably about right.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that one. All right. So let's see here. UConn, who got beat by Creighton at home, taking on Villanova. Remember, these were the old, you probably watched the old Big East matchups with the Georgetown and St. John's and, all those great players that played for them. So they're going there. Let's see. Yeah, UConn is favored 1.5, and it's 140. Wow. Okay, I flipped those too. Maybe, I don't know. It's 140 over under right now. But yeah, I'll give you mine because I know I want to hear your take on it too. But same thing. UConn couldn't beat Creighton. I think they're in a little doldrum here. I think Villanova takes advantage of that at home, and I think they cover, which means in this case they probably win the game. You're probably like, that's opposite. So
yeah, so UConn has better defense. Over their last 3, despite getting beat, their offense has been getting stronger compared to their season-long average.
Okay.
Nova, their defense over the last 3 has been getting better. Now, I was taking that 155 total, and I was like, oh, that's a dead under.
Yeah, bad one there. And 140.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure about the spread either. We got UConn minus 1.5.
Yeah,
I think I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Are
I
you?
could see a UConn money line of
Yeah.
Maybe try to get in live at some point. See if you can get a couple points on
Oh, yes.
UConn live. That
Yeah.
seems decent.
Yeah, you know what I noticed? Like if Villanova takes off early, it'll flip and it'll say UConn minus, plus 3.5, and then you can grab it
Oh,
and then it
hammer,
flips
hammer,
back.
hammer.
Oh, yeah. So that should be a good one. And then, of course, I had to put in my hometown favorite here. The Longhorns travel to Georgia, which I still have this old football rivalry that I'm really mad at Georgia as it is. But we beat them in Austin a couple weeks ago, and I figured, you know what? Let's do that again. But Georgia is actually the favorite in this game. 2.5 points. And the over-under is 165. Okay, I got that one right. Yeah, they've been scoring pretty good. I picked the Longhorns to cover against LSU, and it was 8 points. They won by 3, and they missed 6 free throws at the end of the game. I was so upset that they're missing free throws. But they seem to be playing pretty well, and so I know that to me, this is one of those stretch games that they probably have to play really well, and Georgia has to play poorly. But for me, I just said money line. I said I don't know what they're going to cover. I don't know if they maybe win at the end. But I said, you know what? I think Texas is going to win. But now I'm starting to feel like I need to change that and put cover. But anyway, go ahead. What do you got?
Well, I was thinking, we've been talking about Texas the last couple times on
Yes.
here, and they've been strong for us. But I was thinking about you writing this up. I thought, oh boy,
He's not going to like this one.
I think it's time that runs out for Texas.
Yeah. They did have a good run.
They've been on, right? They've been doing good.
Yeah.
Texas is going to get the ball inside, but Georgia's really been shooting well outside. Texas has been fouling a lot, and Georgia is really good at drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line. I'm looking for a bounce back spot for Georgia and maybe Texas to kind of return to earth. So I put the opposite. I got Georgia money line, and I don't know, what's our total? 165.
Yeah.
I'd probably take under.
Really? Yeah. So see, Georgia's last game, they scored 154, and Texas scored 173. So
Yeah, right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Yeah. Dang you, Las Vegas. So all right. So now we got Miami and Virginia, they also beat the brakes off of somebody. They beat them, Georgia Tech, by almost 30 points the other night. And so they're the favorite, obviously. 8.5 points. Now I feel like I got to check all these. 8.5 points. 100. What am I doing? It's 145.5 total over under. Wow, I missed these big time. And I wish I could blame dyslexia, but it's not even close. So, but yeah, Virginia is on there. And I had, I wrote down some stats too. I was like, man, Virginia's pretty good. They kind of split in the big stats, but I said, I feel like being at home, Virginia kind of takes that. What's your take on that one?
This is another one of those spots I really like to look at when it's Virginia is a big first half scorer, and then they kind of slow down second half. Miami is a first half scorer, but their defense is really, really bad first half.
Okay.
And Miami excels being a big second half team. I think they're averaging over 45 points in the second half. So if there's anything there, I like taking Virginia at home first half. Let's get out.
Yeah, makes sense.
On a 4-point lead. If that's what the half spread is. 5 is maybe pushing it, but maybe you can get 4.
Yeah.
And you don't get as many weird fouls towards the end of the first half. A lot of times that really works.
That's a good one there. Yeah, and you know what? You can go either way because, like you said, if Miami comes storming back in the second half, it could be they could still lose, and they could lose by 2 or 3 points, right? And you cover. Mm-hmm. So I could see where Miami plus 8.5 could be a good play. This last one, I was struggling with this one. North Carolina, man, that was so bad against NC State. I could not believe how bad that game was. There was a stretch that I saw where they missed 4. They kept getting the rebound, 4 3-pointers. And then the last one he hit, it went off the side of the backboard. NC State grabs the ball, goes down, layup. I said, this is going to be a bad day for North Carolina. And it was. I don't know. I picked, so North Carolina's favored on this one, and I'm going to check that one as well. North Carolina's favored 2.5, 3.5. Sorry, 3.5. 154 now over under. Man, I hope they show up. I'll be honest, I'm torn on this one. I was kind of thinking Syracuse only because they're at home and North Carolina hasn't been playing well. But tell me different. Tell me I'm thinking right, please.
I think you're on the right track. This is a good spot. Don't get too cute with it.
Yeah.
Don't think too hard about it. Syracuse is not all that good, and they're thinking about a new coach. They're thinking about next season. This is a good opportunity for North Carolina to kind of tell everybody, hey, we're still here. Yep. We can hang in there. We're going to be just fine, even though, we're down a little bit. I texted you earlier. I think this is a good spot if you want to get a little fancy with it. Go ahead and try to get some alternate spread lines for North Carolina. They could win by 20.
Gotcha. I like that. I like it. And I love that we have it on video here, so if it happens, we can be like, see, we told you that. And if it doesn't, I'll erase it. So don't worry about that part.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. Do you parlay much on when you do these games, or is it mostly just like single bets?
No, I think to be successful long term, you got to just stick to straight up bets.
Yes. Yeah, parlay's so hard, man. It is so difficult.
And now I do, I'll throw up a $2 parlay to win 2,000. Because why not?
There's a reason it pays that much because nobody ever hits that, right? So
so don't get crazy with that. A couple money line, maybe if you can get a money line that you really like to maybe plus 120, but you can't get carried away because anything that seems sure is not going to be sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let me tell you what I've done a few things recently, and I've had a little bit of success on them. Let's just take the Illinois game right there. I could actually, it doesn't have the right over/under. Let's take let's take the North Carolina game. Like you said, I could take North Carolina, leave it at 2.5, and I could bring down, and I can parlay and bring down the over/under. Let's say I bring it down to like 142, right? That gives you 2.5. It pays 2.5, or let's say closer to 3 times your bet. Obviously, now they both have to hit, or one doesn't hit, you lose the whole thing. But I've done a few of those, and I've kind of liked them. I don't know why, because they scare me a little bit. Because I'm there watching, like, please, I'm hoping both teams like score, keep scoring. I hate the under because I've gotten burned by the under so much, so I'll do the over. But those are kind of cool if you want to, make a little bit of extra change there. That helps too. And then I was going to ask you, in-game bets. Do you do in-game bets?
I do, but it's got to be something that you know a lot about.
Yeah.
And I think you got to be familiar with the team, and you got to be familiar with what's going on, and you got to be dialed into where are we at on foul situation, where are we at on all those little factors, because you can misstep very easily on something that looks certain. It'll look certain, but if you know anything, it's not certain.
Yeah.
So I don't get too involved. I'm from Nebraska, so sometimes Nebraska I'll bet them live if it's looking good for them.
Yes.
But otherwise, you got to be dialed in, and you can't be chasing kids around.
That's true. That's
getting true. All that. You got to be watching.
I think the worst thing you can do is make a bet, and you didn't really study it, but you think you know what's going on in that game, and then it flips on you really quick, and you're like, why did I do that? I don't know if you do this at all. So I made this spreadsheet that, I say spreadsheet, but it's just a little calculation where you can put in the current score of both teams, the amount of time left. What it does is it calculates what they've been scoring per minute. And then with the amount of time left, I do a multiplication of that, and I add like 2% to see what the outcome would be. So let's say at halftime, right? It's 40 40-40, right? It'll be 80, and it'll tell you how many points are left, and it'll say, oh, they're projected to finish at this amount. And sometimes, I won't lie, I do love to do this. After the halftime, I will put a over/under bet to see if I can catch that over/under. So.
I think that's a real successful approach because a lot of times you'll get teams who are way out of they're out of control first half and they're scoring, and you can get a over/under that's really overinflated, or the opposite. You can get a hot offensive team that they might have had some defensive struggles in the first half.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, and floodgates are open, here we go. And I think that's really good. And I'm not positive, but I'm sure is the total differential for second half, is that 8 points?
I think so. I think it is
more.
I think it is because sometimes you see where the first half it's a horrible scoring game, and my first thought is the immediate to the under. I'm like, these guys scored like 50. It's 23-30 or whatever, but for some reason everybody just bumps it up in the second half. So I have gotten burned with the under, so I've been going more over now for the second half, and it works out pretty good. So yeah.
There's also an approach, a great sports bettor. He calls it open gym.
Okay.
So if you get one team, you get one team running away from another, and there's no chance of them catching up.
Yes.
Especially earlier in the season, it turns into open gym. We get a lot more possessions. You get a lot less defense, and you get a lot less effort because the game's already decided. And
makes sense.
Players are trying to score. They're trying to bump up their stats. So if a game is running away, you need to pump in on the over because it's going to turn into a free for all.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, cool, man. All right. Well, hey, thanks for sharing some of that with us. It was good having you on there. If you're watching, please like and subscribe. And if you have TikTok, go check out TurkeyCrib because he does practically every day. He's putting some bet out there, riding in his car with his dog, and it seems to be hitting pretty often. So he's doing pretty good. So you might want to listen to that guy. So any closing remarks before we get to Saturday's games?
No, shout out. I'm looking for Indiana in the first half tonight. I don't know if they've even started, but I hope it's going good.
I like it. To cover in the first half?
I got Indiana plus 6.5 first half. Don't tell me if it's bad.
I don't know. Actually, I haven't seen, but they are playing. They started a little while ago. So, all right. Well, good luck with that. Appreciate that. Hope everyone has a great weekend watching your games. I said this last time. It seemed to help me, so I'm going to say it again. I hope you bet big, and I hope you win even bigger. So enjoy your weekend. Thanks for joining TurkeyCrib, and we will talk to you guys later.